What's up guys, it's Go Guy here. Today we're going to be talking about something that PewDiePie recently did on one of his streams. Recently PewDiePie had said the N-word, hard R, and I didn't really think too much of it until I saw some of the stuff which he was getting accused of. So after PewDiePie said the N-word, many people saw this as a gateway to start attacking video games in general. Most of the people that have seen hating on PewDiePie weren't even black, just people get offended for other races when they weren't even part of that race. People defending PewDiePie don't seem to realize they're actually claiming that video games make you more racist. This is not a good look for the video games in light of the misogyny and the white supremacy they're already associated with. PewDiePie really said the N-word with an hard R. I'm tired of y'all making white trash famous. Hashtag PewDiePie's over party. So what gives you the right to speak for black people? What gives you the right to judge other people based on their words? Is it your proper grammar? Is it your constant tweeting? Is it your self-righteous ego? Because last time I checked, none of these facts give you the right, the power to judge whether something is right or wrong for other races. You don't have the power to judge whether somebody's racist based entirely on words. Yes, you can judge on what a person's intention is through words, but you can't judge who somebody is through words. The fact that most people who are getting offended of PewDiePie saying the N-word, most of them aren't black, that's actually that's rage-inducing for me. I mean, are you really gonna speak for other black people and not be black yourself? Even if you were black, you're not gonna be able to speak for every black person in the world. No, it's not your job to speak for somebody else. It's not your job to say whether something's right or wrong. Should you really be spending your time deciding whether one person is racist or not, even if he is a major influence in the YouTube community? Because if you ask me, that's a waste of time. Just because somebody said the N-word doesn't mean that they're racist. I mean, I'm not going to say it was the heat of the gaming moment, because, I mean, it kind of was, but I really don't care if he said it or not. I mean, the only reason people are getting offended by this word is not because he says it regularly or something. The reason why people are getting offended by this word is because he doesn't say it regularly. The reason this word has so much power is because people are overreacting to this. They think it's a mortal sin to say a certain word. Grow up. It's a word. You shouldn't be so mad at one word. I mean, you don't get mad at people for saying the F word. No, you don't. Because it's said regularly, and the N word isn't. So, I mean, if you think about it, it's really the people who put so much meaning on this word that are making this word so powerful, and it's very hard to explain, but I'm pretty sure iDubbbz explained it very well in one of his videos. In iDubbbz's own words, he says, have you with your friends said a word so many times that it's just lost its initial punch? Eventually, it lost its meaning too? Another quote from iDubbbz is, either all of the words are okay, or all of them aren't. Now, I'm not saying that I support iDubbbz or anything, but those were some very smart quotes there. I mean, he's not the best person, but he is smart. And that was a good quote from him. I think some black guy, and yes, that was his actual name, expressed a very good argument. In his own words, he says, as a black person, I can tell you, I don't care. Don't be offended on my half. You shouldn't be offended. You shouldn't be offended either. The only thing you should be offended by is people who are trying to tell you to be offended. People that are saying this is earth-shattering. This is bringing people to their knees. It's reminding them of all the hard times they have never been through. This generation has not suffered like the people in the past. Stop being so pathetic. People who think that PewDiePie is racist or tweeted out are either A, they've diluted the meaning of racism so far beyond what it actually means through their self-righteous tweets and self-righteous fan base, that they've actually forgotten what racism actually means, or B, are just doing it for attention because they truly don't really care on the matter. There is an argument that basically states that you don't say a word or let it slip out of your mouth unless it's already in your vocabulary, or you use it a lot. Well, I mean, at first this does seem like a really good argument, but later you see the flaws in it. For one, this has no bearings to it, no research behind it. Not for this particular subject. And then you start to realize later that because the N-word has such a high offensive meaning to it, that you lose the like, in those moments of where PewDiePie said the N-word, you try to find the most offensive thing you can say, and most of the time you refrain from saying the N-word. But this time PewDiePie didn't, because he was really mad for some reason, even though he didn't die, his friend did. And you know, the N-word is just really offensive words, so I think that's one of the reasons why he used that. I mean, you don't have to use a word all the time for it to be in your vocabulary. I mean, you can hear it a lot. I mean, PewDiePie is a gamer. He probably hears that word a lot, but yeah. And the reason he used that word is because it was highly offensive. So in his own mind, he actually thinks that he's offensive. And if it wasn't offensive to him, he would have said some other word, because honestly, he was looking for the most offensive word he could call that dude who dodged all of his bullets and killed his friend. So yeah, I just think that argument has some flaws, although initially it does look like a good argument. I'm not saying that anybody who uses this argument is stupid. I'm just saying that the argument itself is kind of not valid. Although I did counter theoretical statement with another theoretical statement. I mean, to be honest, this whole video is theoretical. Both sides of the people who are supporting or not supporting PewDiePie, you can't look into PewDiePie's brain. So I mean, the smart thing to do would just leave it alone, which I was planning to do, until I saw all these tweets from people who aren't even black. I mean, that got me really mad. I'm not even kidding, that got me really mad. Let's think about the word gay for a second. In the 1930s, this word gay was like saying that somebody should be euthanized, because honestly, that's what it was in the 1930s. You're gay, you're gonna get killed or something. Now it's evolved into something offensive to people, which is why it is commonly used as an insult, when they aren't really insulting their sexuality, they're just insulting them without a specific purpose. And I can't explain, like, they're not insulting a specific trait of the person, they're just insulting them, because gay has shifted definitions from being actually homosexual to just being an offensive term that is used to make people mad, which is what I think PewDiePie did when he killed that one dude, because he was mad and he said the most offensive thing that he could think of. But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, I'm not sure about anything, but I can say this: I don't think that PewDiePie is a racist. What he did was extremely stupid, yes, for both YouTube with the ad revenue situation, which I could care less about, but other YouTubers care a lot about that. And for just saying that word, knowing what consequences it would have, I think that was a very stupid move by PewDiePie. That's it for today, guys. A little bit more serious video for today. I mean, I was really mad when I saw these tweets. Oh man, it was this intro is gonna be weird.